Welcome to the show. So glad to have you here today. Our topic today is your angels can help you build your heart-based business or keep it running for that matter and build it better. Before we get started with that, I want to say hello to my listeners in Wilderness Halton in the UK. So glad to have you here. I enjoy seeing you on my stats week after week, and I appreciate you tuning in. Let's jump right into this. These are classes I offer, and I really never thought about talking about this on the show, but I think I should because a lot of my clients are people who are running heart-based business. And by the way, that means a business that is something about your passion. So if you are a light worker, you have a life purpose and mission, and you're working it. It could be a metaphysical, spiritual, healing, physical, humanitarian, community service, that type business. That's something that's really based on what's in your heart. So when I do those kind of classes, what I'm doing is I do use my intuitive ability, but I'm also talking to the angels of those people, attached to those people, about the business's owner specific questions. And so I want to tell you kind of how that works, because you can do this on your own if you have followed the program in my book, Let Your Angels Lead, and now you know how to hear your angels really well. You've connected with them, you're getting that clear guidance. You can get all this information for yourself. Why would your angels care about your business? Because if it's a heart-based business, it's heavily involved with your spiritual journey, your spiritual development, and why you're here at this time. So of course they're going to care. Your angels care about every aspect of your life. Their sole purpose is to guide you, to assist you. Why wouldn't they help you with business? We spend a lot of our time on business, which is why I believe do what you're passionate about. I've had 3 careers, and I've been very passionate about all of them. The first one was radio, which was a lot of fun, and I was super passionate, loved helping people build their businesses. I wrote a lot of ad copy. I created promotions for the radio station. I had a talk show. It was just a great deal of fun, and I was super passionate. I got to help a lot of veterans. It was just great. And then my next one, the angels led me into mental health. And third, what I'm doing now, which is what I'll be doing in some fashion until I'm not in this world anymore, till I pass on. I am so passionate about my spirituality work. So let's talk about this. The first thing I think is, if you're not sure exactly what you want to do, and I wasn't, I have a variety of gifts and interests, and I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to focus on. And it's kind of funny, I had picked one thing, my angels decided differently. And this happens sometimes. And I really want to say, if you haven't had a lot of luck with what you think you should do, that's yet another reason to just listen to what your angels tell you to do, even if it's not what you want, even if you don't understand it, it seems counterintuitive. Doing what you thought was best hasn't worked, then this is a good time to trust your angels. So have them help you. Give them a list of options. You can figure out what your yes is from the angels. If you can't hear words from them, then it's a feeling in your body. And for me, if I get a yes from my angels, it's just this big rush of energy through my body. And the bigger the yes, the bigger the rush. So that's how I feel it. You might feel it differently. So deciding on your focus, for instance, I really thought, I started doing intuitive readings for corporations, and then I segued into mediumship, added mediumship, and I really intended mediumship to be the focus of my work. Mediumship was spirit, but that hasn't been what happened. Yes, I do a lot of that, but what's really been the focus has been what my angels put in front of me, which is telling me to create a class called Meet Your Angelic Guides, and telling me to write my book, Let Your Angels Lead, that supports that and continues that work in more depth. It's like, I wouldn't have thought of that on my own. Never. So then all these people just responding to these things the angels told me to do. And now the bulk of what I do is angelic work, which suits me just fine. I absolutely love it. Clearly, here I am doing a show called The Angel Room. So sometimes you think you're going to be doing one thing and you prepare for that, but your angels will help you define what your actual current focus needs to be, and it can change. So the next thing is going to be the name of your business, and it's important. I had some funny things happen. This happened to me recently at a party at my sister's cabin. A lady comes up and she said, "Oh, you're Ivory Angelic." And I said, "No, actually, I'm Ivory LaNoue, but Ivory Angelic Medium is my website, but it's not my name." So there's some think about this. I probably would have named my website something differently if I had asked my angels to give me input on it. Instead, I was very logical about it, as I like to be. Nothing wrong with being logical, but it cut my angels out of the equation. So think about it, what some options that you're considering for a name for your business, and ask your angels which one you'll find the most success with in the way that means success to you. Success means different things to different people. It's not all about money. It can be just your satisfaction. It can be having the clientele who feeds your soul, all of these things. So really give some thought to that, and then give them the options and see what they say. And then think about that for a while. I say, don't rush these big things. The name of your business is very important. It carries energy and people will tune into it. And I tell you this because the name of my brick and mortar business is Sedona Soul Sisters. And ever since we started that business 7 years ago, we have a sign on the front of the building which faces the highway and goes through Sedona. And people will come in and say, "I saw your sign and I don't even know what you do. And I heard I have to go in there." Or I just felt like compelled, I have to go in. Or they'll find us online and it just captures them. And then they'll find one of us and know they're supposed to connect with us. So it's been really proven to me the energy that a name has. It's no different than the energy of your personal name, attracting or repelling, compelling, all the different things that a name can do. So don't rush that. The biggest, funniest story I ever have with coming up with a name was when I sang with a Celtic band, and we were in Vegas. We had just sung at a really big concert there, and we were trying to figure out what we want to go by. I can't believe we didn't even have a name at that point. It's hilarious. But we were up most of the night, the six of us, talking about this name, and it went on and on and on till we finally, they wore me down. I just can't take any more of this discussion. And I wanted something interesting like Brogue, because we were a Celtic band. But we ended up going with Wild Thyme, Thyme. And it just took so much discussion to come up with this. And I was never thrilled with that name. But like I said, I got worn down. Anyway, neither here nor there. So the next thing would be asking your angels who your target audience is. And this is something I learned as an author working with really great editors and experts in the writing field who mentored me through my first book. And what I learned was you cannot just say all women or everyone between age 18 and 90. No, you need to have a very defined idea of who your target audience is, even as a business. Is it women who are adult women who have discretionary funds, who are already on an exploration or ready to start exploring their spiritual journey, who are okay with virtual sessions, or who want to come in and see a variety of people? You've really got to nail that down, the more specifics, because if you don't know who your specific target audience is, how do you aim? How do you aim for them? So, and aiming, I'm talking about the things you write about, the things you talk about. I know my audience here is people who are interested in angels, who love angels, who are curious about angels, who want to incorporate angels more into their life on a daily basis. That's why I talk about such a wide range of topics. Also, people who are spiritual on a spiritual journey, people who are trying to heal, interested in healing, personal growth. Um, I think that you really need to know that, and angels can help you. So whether you give them a few options, I'm thinking of targeting this. What do you think about that? You get a yes, a maybe, or a no. Go with the ones you get the strongest yes on. If you're not getting oh, they just gave me a yes. And if you're not getting a clear answer for yourself that way, then you can always go to asking before you meditate, asking right before you go to sleep, and keep asking the same question until you get a clear answer. There's no sense of time in the angelic realm. So don't be expecting to hear it the first time you ask. Maybe you will, and I hope you do. But I've had things that were really urgent for me that took 4 months or more to get a clear answer on. But when I got it, it was kapow. It was unmistakable. So, and I felt such strength, and it helped give me confidence to move forward in that direction I'd been considering, because my angels did give me such a clear yes on that, more than a yes. So the next thing would be even things like your logo. Remember how I talked about that there's such energy in the name of your business? Well, there's energy in your logo as well. So you might want to have a few options created. This is just a design that your business is known by. This is what you use on everything. It's your symbol, really. And show it to a lot of people who are spiritual, who are really in touch with spirit, intuition, angels. See what their reaction to it is, and have them write down 3 words that they think of when they see that symbol, so that you can start understanding like the gut reaction, the intuitive reaction people have to the name you're considering. It may throw them in a different direction than you're intending. And in that case, you want to look at something different. So that's a logical way to go. And I don't discount logic. I'm a logical person. However, ask your angels too. Is this, show it to them, hold it up. Is this the right logo for my business? If they give you kind of a maybe, and a maybe for me is like this intermittent rush of energy where it kind of comes in, cuts out. It's not a steady rush. So then you can ask them, does it need to be revised? Do I need to start over? Ask these specific questions that you can get a rush of energy. I'm laughing because I'm talking about this and the angels are just coming in and coming in. It's like almost like they think I'm asking about my business. Done that. So then, a website these days is the modern day calling card. It is your store. It's your storefront for your business that the whole world can see. It's imperative to have it. So sometimes people pull up pictures they've had for a long time and they're like, oh, I'll just use this picture. Ask your angels first, because pictures are one of the most important aspects of your website and your advertising. Your angels will let you know if a picture is truly imparting the energy, the feeling about yourself that you intend to. I have this back and forth with my business partner and her boyfriend all the time. Like the picture I want on the website, Sedona Soul Sisters, they're always like, no, you need to use this one. And I just hate that picture. But they're just so adamant about it. I'm like, well, we'll leave it up a little bit longer, but I don't love it. I don't feel like if you look at a picture of yourself and you get a negative feeling about it, you're never going to be happy about it. How can it be the best advertisement for you? So on my website, Ivory Angelic Medium, I have pictures I selected. I had pictures. So most of them my niece took. She's a photographer. She took those of me, and a ton of them. And I just went through them and asked the angel, should I use this one? Should I use this one? And then I asked them, what should I use this on the home page, the about page? And honestly, the placement of all those pictures and the ones I used, that came from my angels most assuredly, because I had a lot to choose from and I wasn't sure where to go with that. Maybe you need a whole new photo shoot. I really did. I really just didn't have anything that was suitable for that website. And I'm going to do another photo shoot. I mean, an updated one like every 5 years is good. So it looks like you. You know, you want to be sure your pictures look like you, and you change as you grow and you transform through your spiritual journey, your work, your practices. What you're doing might change a bit. And so you need a slightly different look. And you may just get tired of those pictures too. But for me, I think it's about staying current with how I actually look. And I want my pictures to look like me. So when people meet me, they go, oh, I recognize you from their website, you know, or from your podcast or something. So ask them about that. And if you already have a website, it's not too late. This is not just for people considering to start a business, but people who are already in business and maybe things aren't growing as fast as you hoped they would. It's not thriving like you thought it would. This is a great time to go back to some basics and ask your angels, point to a picture on your own website and say, angels, should I keep using this picture? Should I use it here or on another page or on a different page? You know, so go through like that and just verify. Another very important thing, pretty obvious, is the text on your website. What you say, I mean, the picture is going to draw somebody in, or the banner is going to draw somebody in because people are visual. But what you say is where you're talking from the heart. And I like to tune into my angels, and I won't say that I channel them, but I will say it's like they guide my hand and they guide me in my thoughts as I'm deciding what to put on my website, because I don't want it to be anything less than straight from my heart. And I would recommend that you use advertising practices, but speak from your heart. Speak honestly in words you would use, in terms you would use, and thinking about what your clients really need. And if you have no idea where to start, ask your angels to guide you in that process. Sometimes people get frozen and they don't create a website because they get frozen. They don't know what to write. So start with the About Me page. Start with something like that and some FAQ, basic things. Get that done. Get yourself rolling. It's kind of like when you're writing a book. You can get times when you have writer's block, but the best way through it is to write again. So write, get your About Me FAQ done, which is, you know, frequently asked questions. Get that all done on there, things of that sort. That's sort of the basics. And then work your way back to your homepage, which is your calling card. You know, that's, people might only look at your homepage. Everything super important needs to be in the first frame people see when they open your website. So your banner can't be too big. There's got to be information showing below that captures them and takes them in deeper. But what is that information? You know, you want to be succinct and you want to target your audience. And if you don't know what to do, this is another way. Just let your angels help you with it. Don't feel like you have to fight your way or think your way through this. Sometimes, I know this because I'm an overthinker. Sometimes trying to think your way through something does nothing but get in your way. So another thing is, once you're up and going, or you're ready to do your grand opening, where do you advertise? I have to say, we were just talking about this the other day. I was in Sedona Soul Sisters having a foot bath with my business partner, and we kind of catch up on the week because we're both super busy with clients during the week. And we're talking about to a lady, a good friend, Sedona, who's recently joined our practice, how we really don't advertise our podcasts, and my book is my main way I get business, and mostly we get word of mouth referrals. And if you can get to that place, boy, that's the way to go. But I have to say, I don't know if it's the nature of our business or just not our path, but every time we try traditional advertising, it does nothing. We haven't done it in years now. We've done everything from, print, radio, TV, like tourist guides, Chamber of Commerce, and sponsoring this film festival, Illumination Film Festival here in Sedona. None of that has brought us business. What brought us business is doing our podcast, Sedona Soul Sister Show, and word of mouth. So nothing replaces giving a service that people are so pleased with that they tell other people about it and recommend you. So if you think you need to advertise, though, maybe online. We do social media. But I even ask my angels, like, which social media do you feel is going to benefit my business best? And they've come down to a couple, and I put my energy into those two, and I sort of just a little bit touch the others because I listen to my angels. And I'm running a business by myself. I do not have time. I have one person who helps me a little bit, but I don't have time to do every single social media. So ask yourself, which ones are you interested in? Which ones do you tend to like to use the most? And then ask your angels, hey, is using Facebook going to benefit my business greatly? Yes or no? Is it going to be one of my primary ways of marketing that's most effective? Yes or no? Same with the others, right on down the line. Save yourself some time. I used to try to focus on all of them, and I was exhausting myself. I was working way too much, and some of those just never panned out into any kind of business. And I don't mind sharing information. That's why I still share things like my podcast on all the social media, but not posting regularly. So another important thing is when you're dealing with red tape. There was a lot of red tape for us starting Sedona Soul Sisters. Hoops that had to be jumped through, delays. They're going to happen, but ask your angels for navigation advice getting through it to make it settle as quickly as possible. There could be other barriers as well. People can become a barrier. Things just don't go as planned always, and that's been true for us as well. It's been true for me with my Ivory LaNoue business. There's just things that unexpectedly occur. So you can probably deal with 99% of it, but if there's a percentage of these barriers that are really proving to be a problem, really holding things up, and you have no idea how to resolve them, that's when you go to your angels and say, hey, how do I bring this to a conclusion so we can get this business going or get back on track, whichever it is. Another one is ethical dilemmas. The hardest one for me is when I have to make a decision that's going to hurt somebody in some way. It's going to be disappointing at the very least, and I don't want to do that. And I want to be sure I'm doing it the right thing, the most fair decision. I do logic my way through it, but then at the end, I'm asking my angels, is this the right decision that I've come to? And if they say no, I'm back to the drawing board, and I'm actually going to ask them. And I do ask them things like, what do you see as the resolution for this? Because they always see options that we don't. It's sort of like when people are living their life and they make decisions thinking that's the only choice I had, then they cross. And when I'm doing mediumship, they're like, I can see I had so many options. Same thing. The angels see all of our options, so we should let them help us with this. It can be really frustrating when you're trying to get a business off the ground, or when things are moving along and a barrier is put in front of you that feels like it just put the screeching halt on business. And it happens. And COVID, oh my goodness, COVID was a big screeching halt, giant barrier put up there. We made it through. We're thriving, but it was nerve-wracking. It was a little scary there for a while. We went from insane levels of tourism in Sedona to almost none. And even now, the streets of Sedona are pretty empty compared to what they would be in the summer. Business still continues because people are learning to do virtual sessions, and that it's just as good. And you can see each other on Zoom or FaceTime or Skype. There's so many choices in the modern world. But you're going to come across times when a decision must be made, and you either don't want to make it, or you need reassurance that it is the right thing or the best choice you have. Here's a big one. Have your angels help you avoid collaborating with people or groups that are not in your best and highest good. We can be so wrapped up in business and in our daily lives that something's presented to us that sounds good. We're like, yeah, we'll do that. And you regret it, or you let somebody into your business that you regret because you were in a hurry, because you needed the money. I've heard so many different reasons over the years, but I would take a moment. You have a moment to stop and talk to your angels. Hey, is them joining my business in the best and highest good of myself and my business? And if you're going to kind of break it down, is it in the best and highest good of myself? Is it in the best and highest good of my business? It can be things like considering joining a professional organization, joining a networking group. You can ask whether that's going to pan out well for you, be a waste of time and energy that maybe you don't have to give. And I think that's probably one of the big ones, because nothing will bring a business down like the wrong people being involved. And it's that whole thing of a mix of energy. So for those of you who are already in business, and let's say somebody's been a part of your business, and when you brought them in, they were fantastic, but things have changed. Their energy is different, and it's affecting everybody. It's affecting the clients, the other staff. It's affecting the workplace environment. Then you need to talk to your angels about how to bring that to a resolution. We all know about that one rotten apple in the barrel being a real problem. The next thing is figuring out how to get where you want to be. I see a lot of people who got their business off the ground, and now what? They don't really understand why clients aren't coming in, why they're not growing. They're maybe having to think about giving up their professional space and moving to someplace less expensive, or working from home for that reason, or even thinking about giving up their spiritual practice and going back to a more traditional way of making a living. Hey, if you need to do that to pay your bills, to feel comfort, to feel secure financially, do it. It's not a giant step backward. It might be a step sideways. Keep working your business, but do go through these steps. Do allow your angels to help you figure out where you're going wrong. So this is a case where I would ask them for feedback. Tell me how I can get my business on track to be more successful right before you go to sleep, right before you do meditation. I'm a big believer in setting an intention for meditation. Remember, meditation does not have to be something formal where you're sitting in the lotus position, ringing a gong, no, or doing chanting. No. For a lot of people, it's when they go for walks or runs, when they're gardening, when they're doing dishes. Repetitive things doesn't require a lot of thought. Your mind can wander. Long car drives. So you shouldn't really going to do a meditative state on a long car drive, but here in Arizona with the long, boring stretches between cities, it can just sort of happen, a light meditative state. Whatever it is, allow yourself to receive the information. You might want to have a recording device with you, so like a little portable mini recorder. So if you have that moment of inspiration, you can talk into it and record it, even if you're driving, and get it before you lose it. I've been inspired with so many things where I didn't have anything to write it down. I couldn't pull over, and I lost it. And I don't want that to happen to you. If you're receiving this great information, great moments of inspiration, ideas, epiphanies from your angels, then I want you to retain it and put it to good use, because it can be life-changing for your business and therefore for you. I hope that this gives you some idea of bringing your angels into the decision-making process and collaborating with your angels. Always a safe bet with building your business, with moving forward, with making it more successful. And as always, if you have questions, you can leave it, send me an email. It's in the show description. I'm always happy to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a comment there. I always respond. So I thank you so much for tuning in today. There's going to be at least one more pre-recorded show until I finish my radiation treatments. And next Sunday, the topic is the significance of synchronicity. I think you'll find that interesting. In the meantime, may your angels surround you. May your angels protect you every moment, every day of your life. I'll see you next week.